Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Now, when you look at prophecy, you have to understand chapter 13 of Revelation. Now, when you start the chapter off, it says, in verse 1, chapter 13, Revelation, verse 1, it said, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon the heads the name of blasphemy. Verse 2, and the beast which I saw was like a leopard, and his feet was as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So what it's saying is, it's describing this beast differently than the dragon is described by saying the bear, the lion, and the leopard. But the power of the beast and the seat of the beast is the same, because the dragon gave its power to this individual. And so it's telling you the same thing pretty much, but it's just giving you a different aspect of the dragon. So when you jump down to verse 4, it says, and they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? So now you have this beast and this dragon being described as the same thing, and who can war with these individuals? You see, so that's why I named both of them in the statement together. So when you jump down to verse 9, it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saint. So now, this beast, it is pretty much the individual that had the slave trade, because the slave trade is known in history as is one slave trade. I didn't have to say, oh, the so-called West Coast of Africa slave trade or 1500 slave trade. All I had to do is say slave trade, and you know what I'm talking about. So it was only one slave trade, and this individuals did it, the dragon and the beast. Now when you say the beast, in verse 11 it says, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So now it's another beast, but this beast has 2 horns, and horns represents kingdoms, not political parties, but kingdoms or kings. So it's 2 nations that's powerful. And to show you the power of these nations, in verse 12 it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast. So these 2 nations pretty much embodies the dragon and the beast, and exercise power over the dragon and the beast. You see? And so you have verse 13, it talks about that this 2-horned beast did great wonders, so that he might make fire come down from heaven onto the earth in the sight of men. And we know that was the nuclear bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And Hiroshima Um, those two bombs, it was atomic bomb, but pretty much at the end of the day, there was fire that came from the sky, and most theologians will tell you this was America, and it identifies America because you got verse 10 talking about the slave trade, which ended up in America, and you have the nuclear bomb, which ended up in America. Plus, you have America being a world power with 800 military bases, outdoing all other nations on the earth. And the United Nations building is in America, New York City. You see, so all fingers is pointing to America. So when you get down to verse 16, and it says, "And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead." 17, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." Now you see this same America who exercising power over all that dwell on earth, started the slave trade, dropped the nuclear bomb. He is going to present a mandatory situation where you have to get this thing, and if you don't get it, you're going to have a hard time buying or selling anything. And so when you see in the world that somebody is trying to, especially the government, they're trying to implement a mandatory or a compulsory situation, that should be a red flag, especially when America is involved and Britain is involved. Because the two-horned beast is the Britain, UK, Europe, whatever, however you want to say it, and the United States of America. So it's a clear operation. And so what people is getting confused is they trying to connect the situation with this disease with the so-called mark of the beast. But the point I'm making is you have to show evidence that you've taken this thing, and that evidence, that's going to be the mark of the beast. You see, nobody know what you put in your body, but the evidence of it, that's going to be the mark of the beast, to let them know that you've taken it. Plus, that's going to be a money system. You see, and that money system is going to be this so-called microchip that individuals going to have to put in their hand or their forehead, and it's going to help them with money and proving that they have taken this medical procedure. And so when you go to Revelation 19, it tells you the significance of the situation and how the beast, the two-horned beast, which is also Babylon the Great, what is they're doing at the end of the day. Let's see, Revelation 19, starting at let's see here, 19 starting at 20. It says, "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped the image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone." Salakia. So the individuals that's gonna be deceived by America and the UK and the rest of the nations that make up the beast, you see, they gonna receive something that's gonna cause them to be thrown into the lake of fire alive. They're not gonna be dead. They're gonna be alive. So whatever these people giving you is not gonna hurt you. The mark of the beast is not gonna hurt you. The mark of the beast is not gonna kill you, according to the word now. So if somebody's saying it's gonna kill you or hurt you or do something wrong to you, that's not accurate. The mark of the beast is going to qualify you to be thrown in the lake of fire by God. Now, when you go to chapter 14, it talks about individuals. What is this? Individuals in verse. Let's see here. Let's start at 9. They say in the third angel. This is 14:9 of Revelation. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wrath of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without measure into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So they're going to be alive when they're thrown into that lake of fire, and they're going to be in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. And they're going to be deceived by the beast, America and the UK. And see, the UK is starting the first initiation, and they're going to be followed by America, and the rest of the nations that make up the beast is going to follow right along with them. And so this is the situation you're looking at. It's all about the punishment of God, not about what somebody else is going to do. It's about the punishment of the Most High. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, and Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.